How's it going, everyone? My name is Black Yoshi the Killer. I really want to do a draw my life that bad, but I don't draw well, and I have a bad spelling problem, so I'm gonna do it by game. So here we go. So, anywho, I was born in Long Beach, California, on October 5th, 2002, and I was born in a. This is embarrassing, but actually, this folk was born in the waiting room in the Long Beach Memorial. I have doctors said I was a fast baby to be born since this was like one of their first babies that wasn't born in the delivery room. But by the time I turned 18 months old, my bio mother abandoned me, and my pop was a drug addict back then too. I was I was held in a foster care unit at the age of one at the age of one, uh and then my father made an accord state to get me back in his hands, and he did. So I'm back into custody into my place. But the problem is my dad is literally he literally works to keep me and him all up. So I spent half my years mostly growing up in Watts with my cousins, who was living like almost like 10 blocks away from Harbor Freeway Green Line Station. I had like 7 cousins that lived with me, and that was pretty epic. And so uh but I was like a casual 5-year old, but I think around 2006 I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 5. And then and then the next following month, I was diagnosed with autism. Emotional delays, and severe anger problems. I enrolled school when my ADHD problem came in, and before my emotional delays kicked in. But I was almost likely 5 to 4 years old when I enrolled a school called Bertram Elementary. It was kind of nice. It was cool. It was funny. I had a nice teacher for my first year being in the school. But in my second year enrolled, my pop, no, well, my principal told my dad that I should enroll into a much different and bigger classroom. And so they had me in room number 4, in room number 3. I was in room 4, but I was reassigned to 3. No, I think it was 5. I think, and that's when things became severely wrong with me. Oops. So, anywho, my teacher and I was not pretty close enough most of the time. She said I was like one of the worst pupil I ever had in her class, and but she does like me most of the time. When my 7th birthday hit it, when my 7th birthday hit, well, that was the only day that she became nice to me. And I wonder why, because she was kind to everyone else, and I'm not being racist. I was the only black kid in her class, and and no racist for her. But I think she had a serious dislikement with me for being black. I mean, but I'm black. But just like in James Brown's song, I'm black and I'm proud. Literally, I am proud and I'm black. Most likely, anywho, so I was in a pretty bad state. My pop nearly got laid off of his job until there was a new position that became the available, and I was ended up spending every night with with one of his workers that he knew up pretty well, and I knew the guys pretty well, and there's the Daily Express. But actually, due to my pop working that night, I ended up staying the night at a few people's house. Most are random, most of them were pretty close. Oh. Anywho, I got my teacher made an emergency meeting with the principal, my pop, in the Long Beach Unified School District. And that's when the day I became expelled. And there was another school I went, Cesar Chavez Elementary, but I was only... My pop said I was only there for a day, but I was only there for only 2 weeks. I wasn't comfortable with the new school setup, and I'm always distracted with the elevator. So they made another emergency meeting, and I got expelled from that school. That's when my anger problems came in. That's when my anger problems literally had kicked in. And my parents were literally hopeless, and I enrolled at another school, Dooley Elementary. I was only there for a year. And then I got kicked out of that school due to my problems. And then I was in Patrick Henry. I stayed for almost a year on that one too. Hell yeah, once again, I get expelled. And yeah, I got expelled from that school as well. And my last elementary school that I wasn't kicked out was Lowell Elementary. I managed to stick my last few years there, but I ended up going to I went through 2 classroom changes. When I enrolled to school for the first time, my principal told me I'll be assigned into one of the bungalow class. And this guy was pretty nice teacher. He had an Xbox, he had a 360, and somehow he had an NES and an SNES and a bunch of Legos for everybody to use during Thursday's free time and Friday's period. But I wasn't one of the best pupils he had. He was only proud of me of one time because we did a story about how a rat saved a rat saved some stupid crow's life. And then when I made a video of me as doing a live as an Eskimo, he literally fell in that class. And that's how him and I were on our dark sides. My pop was literally hopeless. My principal was hopeless. And one time, I was in my new classroom, but before I joined, I was told by my teacher to deliver something to room 16, and that's when my permanent new class came in. But I ended up in a couple of suspensions a lot. Most of the time I get to spend it for absolutely no reason. It's pretty stupid. Literally, it is. And so, out of state and confusion, I was literally, I managed to graduate out of Lowell and I managed Rogers, but once again, I only stayed there for a year. On the last day of school, that almost close to summer vacay, my teacher, who was done having a pregnancy, she came back like after winter's break, but she was in a bad mood due to her daughter having numerous birth defects. What time of the year again? Well, infinitely, I'm sorry for the pause of the moment. I had something in my mind that was related to the meth. So, I, as I said in the beginning, I want to do a draw live, but I have a bad grammar problem, and I don't remember most of my stuff pretty well. So, I'm gonna tell my life, so I don't get confused. So, anyway, I seriously not know what was going on with my life, and why the hell are you drinking tap water? There could be poison in there. Anywho, I had a bad childhood life. Everybody teased me due to my disabilities. Everybody called me stupid, retarded, stupid, the pinhead. At one time, it clicked on me. Literally, it did. I got so extremely ticked off once. The school had to suspend me for almost a week due to my anger and me cussing my teacher out. I was suspended for a week for breaking school property, injuring another student, using the profanity in front of kindergartners. And my principal was pretty shocked and was pretty disappointed with me. He literally was. So shocked that after my week suspension, he gave me a week's detention. My family nearly forced to pay the... Okay, game moment. My family was nearly forced to pay for the girl's hospital bills, so I accidentally gave her a 4-hour stay in an OR. But that was just pissing me off. After my week's detention, I avoided my one-on-one aid at all costs at that instant because she was the cause of it. I enrolled Will Rogers Elementary School for almost a year, but frankly enough, they can't handle my ass. So they filed the suspensions numerous, and they made them, and then back on track. my teacher was informed by one of the students that I'm doing a highly illegal thing that was supposed to be related to the school's policies and rules that I seriously did not know, because I was watching a fake clickbait video. Somehow I had a weird alignment with it, but it ended up getting me into trouble. The teacher told me what I did was highly illegal. I didn't know what was illegal of a fake video I was just looking at. I was mad, and unfortunately, I was filed for another expellment. And the district pulled me into one of their private schools that's out in the district area. But I literally hate one of the schools I was in. I was supposed to enroll at a non-public school out in Torrance, but my parents doesn't like me doing an enrollment somewhere in the Torrance County for some strange reason. There was a private school in Watts, but most of the time I don't like Watts due to the Bloods and Crips doing drive-bys and stuff, and homes of school shootings. So my dad enrolled me into a school called Speech and Language Development Center. I have to think of it. This is my 7th year going there. Because I enrolled at the age of... What's up with you, Afro hippie? Yeah, I know you heard me, but you want to walk along because you know how rich you are. And you're not. Yeah. No wonder why no one wants to make friends with you. What's your dream, Afro freak? But the problem was, I liked the school because once a year, the school provided free match field trip tickets, and I was really good about that. Well, I'm already 15 years old. I made the, so, not to my school life. So, around September 15th, 2015, I started the YouTube industry channel live, but I was pretty hopeless of doing YouTube channels since I really did not know how to upload them, and the phone I previously had before I had my LG T5 and my PS4, they told me I'm only allowed to, oh fudge, okay, just staying outside of the clear skimming from close. Okay, never mind. So, I seriously not know, man. I mean, this says, oh!
What new?
Oh, God! Oh my God, okay. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry, sorry, love. Okay, making a long story short, I was hopeless with subscribers. I only reached 5 in late 2016, and then out of the blue, until now I reached my 46th subscriber. Somehow I think one of my videos are going highly changed. So I was domestically not abused, but I did have to 5-0 onto my case lots of times.
Oop, they shoot.
I had to 5-0 onto my case numerous times. I almost got arrested for hitting a girl. Well, I was lucky my parents pressed charges, otherwise I'd be ended up spending like 17 months in a juvenile hall center. And I already suffered juvie myself. I suffered juvie already, and I literally do not want to go there again. It's a freaking hellhole. I'm lucky I don't live in Texas. Or somewhere hot where they make you dig holes in the hot sun. like that movie Hose. But this is my life. I'm a 15-year-old kid who's literally had a bad disability. I made lots of friends along the way. But moved through a lot of schools and houses. I'm gonna end this video here since I might be wasting my storage, and like, subscribe, peace, and I'll be back with gaming videos either next week or by later on in the day. Peace.